India. The first big story which we are tracking right now and on your screens, Lokayukta files FIR against Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah in the MUDA case. That's the first big story that we are tracking. So that's the big story, FIR against Siddaramaiah in MUDA scam. More trouble mounting for Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah as the Lokayukta has registered an FIR against him in the MUDA scam. Siddaramaiah has been named as accused number 1, while his wife BM Parvati has been named as accused number 2. The FIR comes just days after the Karnataka High Court had upheld the governor's orders to prosecute Siddaramaiah in the MUDA case. The case pertains to Siddaramaiah's wife having been allegedly allotted prime plot of land in Mysuru by the Mysuru Urban Development Authority in an illegal fashion. For more of this, I am joined by my colleague Mohammad Wajiullah. Waji, we were speaking about it just this afternoon, and as afternoon has turned to evening, the big news broke, and that being an FIR. What are you picking up on the ground? What do you think Siddaramaiah is now planning? Does he have days enough to plan? Are there also rumors that he may just quit, based on morality?
Well, this is the first step in this entire MUDA scam. We've been talking about it through the day, and what has happened now is that first FIR has been registered after efforts by the activist Snehamai Krishna. Lokayukta has made Chief Minister the accused number 1, his wife accused number 2, Mallikarjun, the brother-in-law, is accused number 3, and Devraj, the first person who from whom they bought the land, is accused number 4. Now, what is going to happen with regards to this particular case is that all these people will be called in. The first person who sold the land also will be called in, and their statement will be taken by the police. The Lokayukta will take each and everybody's statement, and after that they will try to bring in the documents that were there during 1996, and they will try to compare it with the documents of today's, and they will try to see if there is any differences, or if there is any scam per se that has been spoken about. After that, what we will also see is the questioning part of it. This is where it will get interesting. Notices will be sent to the Chief Minister, his wife, Devraj, Mallikarjun, and they will be asked to come for questioning. Now it is for the legal team of the Chief Minister who will go and file for an anticipatory bail in this matter, because an FIR has been registered. So there are chances of him getting arrested. That is incumbent on the investigative officer. It is on him whether he finds anything incriminating. If he'll find anything that they suspect, or the accused can leave the country and go away. And though in these cases there are chances of him arresting, but Siddaramaiah also has the opportunity of filing an anticipatory bail. After that, the other legal remedies that the team also has is that they can go approach the divisional bench and squash the entire FIR, put a stay on this FIR before the session bench. So there are good options for the Chief Minister with regards to this. As of now, as we speak, the Chief Minister also is in Mysore for a 3-day visit over there. So all these legal aspects of this particular case will be looked after Siddaramaiah's team. But what we know so far is that the first FIR against Siddaramaiah has been lodged after 2 days of the court direction. Now we'll have to see how this case moves forward, what will happen next. But so far, everyone has a few legal rights with which they can. As of now, it is too early to say whether he'll be arrested or what will happen next, because if we go as per the legal norms, Siddaramaiah has a lot of legal options. He has an option of squashing the FIR. He has an option of putting a stay on the FIR. He even has an option of going and challenging the governor's appeal in a higher court. So all these things are being looked up as we speak. Siddaramaiah's legal team is in Delhi also to discuss with Abhishek Manu Singhvi on what they can do next. So we'll have to wait and watch on what will be their next plan of action. But the first course of action will be to get an anticipatory bail so that there is no arrest, and if there is any.
Tell me something. There have been, Vaji, even earlier cases, correct me if I'm wrong, with Yadurappa, right? I mean, there have been cases in Karnataka. I mean, Siddaramaiah will not be the first one. Am I right, Vaji?
Yes, when it comes to Chief Minister, I think almost every second or third Chief Minister has seen jail during their tenure, be it Yadurappa, be it Kumaraswamy. This is not going to be something new, but what we're seeing here is how much of it will be proved, because court, because as we've seen how long it has taken for the local, it took them 2 days to actually file a case, because they were confused whether they should do it on the CRPF, CRPC or BNSS. Then there were miscommunication with regards to documents. So there were reasons which were delaying the entire tactic. But now, after 2 days of deliberation, Snemai Krishna finally managed to make sure that an FIR is registered. And now, with the Lokayukta filing FIR, there is chances that Snemai wanted to approach CBI. That is why, if you remember, in the afternoon, I told you a stitch in time could save nine. That was
Yes.
the reason why the CBI was given the prosecution, sanction was put against the CBI. For that reason itself, now Snemai Krishna had also said to do justice.
On that note, thank you very much, Vajula, for joining us on this broadcast. The next story is also on Karnataka. Karnataka MLA Munirathna accused of raping and sexually assaulting a woman inside the Vidhana Soudha, which is shocking. That's coming up on your screens right now. So that's our next story, the expose on Muniratna's sleaze. That's the story. It is by far one of the sleaziest stories about a politician from Karnataka. N. Muniratna Naidu, the BJP MLA from RR Nagar in Bengaluru, was first arrested on 14 September in connection with two separate FIRs registered against him. In the first, Muniratna had allegedly issued a death warrant to a BBMP contractor, Chaluvaraju, with whom he demanded a bribe to clear the pending bills and then proceeded to abuse and assault him. In the second FIR, Muniratna hurled casteist slurs against a former BBMP corporator named Velu Nayakar. But the shocker, which has followed now, will make the two charges look rather tame. A Bengaluru woman has now accused N. Muniratna Naidu of rape, intimidation, coercion and blackmail, and the details, if proven right, shall make this case the worst example of how power not only corrupts but can turn certain politicians into a monster. The woman alleged that Muniratna raped her in his official government car, in the Vidhana Soudha, as well as in the godown owned by him in Mutyala Nagara. The ordeal, she said, continued repeatedly between 2020 and 23, during which time he was a minister. She also added that on several occasions he had raped her in his office at Vikasa Soudha. Muniratna has now been taken into custody of the Special Investigation Team after the SIT and forensic team gathered evidence at a warehouse in Yashwantpura, where the victim said she was sexually assaulted with the alleged accused in attendance. The woman told the police how she was coerced into setting up honey traps at various private resorts. In her complaint, she claimed, and I am quoting her here, the BJP MLA forced me to carry out honey traps. He had threatened me with life to get this job done. She also trained her guns at Naidu's 6 associates, including his gunmen, of assisting him in blackmailing and threatening her with obscene videos that Naidu himself recorded. She further claimed that Naidu used her to honey trap another man, the husband of a former corporator with whom he had a bitter public tiff. She further said that the woman sent to have sex with the councillor's husband was apparently a patient of AIDS. She further claimed that it was she who had fixed the hidden camera in the room. The woman further added that Muniratna sought her help to spread AIDS to the councillor's son as well, and she refused to do that. I know this is getting murkier and murkier. The statement also implicates a woman IS officer. The victim alleged that Mr. Muniratna blackmailed her with a video and forced her to help honey trap another woman at the behest of a woman IS officer serving in BBMP. The woman so trapped had filed a rape case against the IS officer's husband. The victim in her complaint said, following their help to track the IS officer in a false case, Muniratna got 400 crores granted through the IS officer. You know what? If all this doesn't smack of sleaze and dirt and debauchery, then what does? Will the Karnataka BJP stand up and show Muniratna the door? That's what one is waiting for. T.R. Prasad Gowda, spokesperson for the KPCC, is joining us. We asked someone from the Karnataka BJP to join us, refused to join. Professor Chambi Purani, senior political analyst, is also with us. A very, very warm welcome to both of you. Professor Saab, I want to start with you. How dirty can this get, sir? Look at this. You know, for time we have so many cases. You know, legislators watching pornography in the assembly. Then we have the case of, you know, Prajwal Revanna, I mean, rapes and coercion and blackmailing and, you know, sharing of videos. Then we have also a case of Ramesh Jarkioli, if you remember, sex for jobs scam, and then this. Look at all this. I mean, this particular case, I know that this film producer turned politician has a very, very murky past. But sir, where does one start, sir, and where does one finish? And this is the BJP, which talks about morality. I'm shocked, sir.
Yeah, Sudha, you know, I join you in whatever you have said. I endorse it, with a lot of pain and concern for the people of Karnataka and also for women in general. Because, you know, the kind of exploitation that has gone on against women is diabolical in nature. And the very fact that several allegations are made against him and the cases are filed, charge sheet is filed and all that, including the shocking statement of that woman. She was taken to Vidhan Soda and she was raped there. And she was used, you know, to blackmail certain officers or people who are in high office to get favors done and all that. So I think a modus operandi itself shows that this particular MLA has been doing this kind of tricks, you know, in order to get the favors done and also take advantage of the position and using women, you know, to blackmail men and honey trapping. And also, I mean, the most horrible thing, you know, anybody can hear saying that an MLA, an elected representative of the people, that too representing a party which stands for purely on moral or whatever the kind of value-based politics, and that particular party MLA is stooping to such level that seems to show that, you know, whoever becomes an MLA, he becomes mad after power, and he is ready to stoop to any level, forgetting the status of not only being an MLA, but also thinking that he's a human being. First and foremost, he's a father, he's a brother, he is also having a family. With all this kind of thing, how these people can go to such low level? You know, I think the worst kind that we have seen, you know, as you said, you mentioned about the other cases also. They are also like that. But this case, particularly using HIV patients or AIDS patients to go and honey trap officers, you know, I think something which we can't imagine even in our normal kind of imagination or expectation. So I think, you know, the BJP party has to expel such people, and they should never entertain such people, however powerful they may be. You know, he is quite rich. He's very influential. Probably he's a person who is getting elected once again after 2 or 3 times. Maybe I have heard about him, but he has no good record. As you said, his reputation is sullied. And when such a person is there, I don't know whether the police of Karnataka will be doing the right thing, you know, in terms of booking him and gathering the evidence and trusting the women who have come forward to give evidence against him. I think that's where the ultimate sense of justice, you know, should prevail also. I hope, you know, that Karnataka government, especially the police, will equip themselves with such high standards of probity and also kind of a situation in which a powerful MLA is being charged, and that particular case is taken to its logical end. I think such things have to be exposed. You know, I quite agree with you, and I'm really sad and pained for the people of Karnataka to see such scoundrels or such unworthy representatives being elected by people. You know, people have to introspect it. So why don't they elect them?
Yeah,
that's also a big question.
T.R. Prasad Gowda, who's joining us, and he's now with the KPCC. He was once with the JDS. Mr. Gowda, welcome to the show after a long time. You were earlier with the JDS. There also you have one big scandal that Prajwal Revanna, you know, if you read all the charge sheets, one is shocked about the way he blackmailed, the way he coerced women, the way he dragged them into a room, and now this. And now this with Muniratna. Wasn't this Muniratna also part of the Congress at one time, Mr. Gowda?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you asked my association with JDS. I left JDS last year itself, before MP elections. Or soon after MLA elections, I joined Congress.
Sir,
Of
I
course,
mean, I know this has to be proven, Mr. Gowda, but the point is that it is shocking. It is completely shocking, the kind of thing. Look at it. The woman says she was raped in the Vidhana Sauda, in the Vikasa Sauda, which is like a temple for legislators, sir. What has become about the morals of all these politicians from Karnataka is my question.
yes, I agree with you. Morality with the politician has gone down like anything. Because of this kind of politicians, and everybody has to, pay for this. And the publics are looking at the politicians with doubted. Even good politicians are having a bad time, and with the bad eyes only people looking at. And as far as Muniratna is concerned, is he was a rowdy sheeter. He was uh, and done all sorts of crimes, of course. And we thought, he was reformed. He reformed, but still there is no reformation. Even after he won for the third time, fourth time also, after become the minister also, he has continued the same attitude. That
This
is
is, ladies and gentlemen,
very
like
bad.
Mr. Gowda says, that they thought he will reform. 2014, he has a case, by Lokayukta police. They recovered BBMP files related to his constituency, which is Rajarajeshwari Nagar, in his house. Then in March of 2018, Muniratna was named again in a 1500 crore BBMP fake bill case. So this has happened. He is somebody who is now forever under the glare, under the scanner. This is what his entire life has been. Professor Chambi Puranik, I want to ask you something. Look at Karnataka today, sir. There is a FIR filed against the Chief Minister, and there is this Muniratna case happening. If BJP and JDS, they joined and they did Padayatra and said resign, resign. Yesterday also, today they don't have a face to say anything. Because look at this, the two alliance partners, BJP is now facing Muniratna, sir. The case of Muniratna, and there Prajwal Revanna, so many women who are even older than him. So look at it, look at the moral rectitude of the politicians there. What do you think that? Don't you think the BJP should show him the door now, immediately? What are they waiting for? Christmas?
I think, the misfortune or the bad, the saddest part, the ugliest part is all the political parties are guilty of defending such criminals or people who are accused or alleged of such sexual harassment, exploitation, and blackmail, and also amassing wealth and all that. I think it has become, the most shocking thing is they are tolerating such people within the party, and they make them ministers also. They give them important portfolio. What for? That means to say all political parties are guilty of such kind of practices where they have given seats to such people and used them, and they have won the elections, and they have also been made ministers and given important portfolios or chairmanship of this board or that nigama and all that. So apart from that, as you said, I think Karnataka is going through a very bad phase when the chief minister himself stands accused, and when the FIR is filed against him just this evening. And also, there are many cases against many MLAs who are there in the legislature. They are pending. I think the very legal process itself, in spite of special court being there, it is taking too much time. I think there should be a time limit within which the entire, whatever the kind of allegations that are there, they should be probed in, and the right kind of justice should be rendered to the victims also. And the victims also should come forward to say that this particular thing has this proof and all that. The lady has got number of videos where she was shown that video and she was tried to exploit, or she was made to use even for certain kind of blackmail and all that. So that means to say, when such evidences are there, special courts, there should be many, many special courts, not one court. One court means it will take 10 to 15 years. One Lalu Prasad Yadav to get punished took 20 years. Now, in this case also, public memory is very short. And year after year, month after month, we go on witnessing such things happening and all that. So I think the entire conscience of the political leaders, they should introspect and see whether such people are, needed for that party to gain power or not. Whether you gain power or not, you should never entertain such people who exploit.
No, but no. That is okay, sir. You and I, you are idealistic, Professor Chambi Puranik. Politicians are not idealistic.
No,
I want to, sir, I want to ask you, BJP, because you know the party very well. I mean, you know all parties, but BJP you know very well.
Yeah.
Now it has been, the woman has come, she has said, how long did it take before for anyone to get Prajwal Revanna from Germany to India? Weeks, months. They're all stubborn. BJP, at least a party which has been mentored by Yadurappa, at least there should be some kind of a semblance of moral rectitude, which doesn't seem to be happening at all.
Yeah, they are not, acquitted themselves properly. I agree with you. Now, BJP itself is guilty of encouraging such people. The very fact that Prajwal Revanna's case, which is, something which nobody can imagine. As you said, women who are elder to him, if you could use them for such a kind of sexual harassment and exploitation, now what kind of morality the BJP party can claim before the people of Karnataka and the entire India? All over India, people are suspecting that BJP party has got such a kind of infamous people who are accused of such horrible crimes against women and also being corrupt and all that. What is the purpose of a political party? A political party should stand for certain values, and those values are not at all visible today. That's the point.
Let me also, So let me also clarify, ladies and gents, that we did call someone from the BJP in Karnataka. They all declined it, and it's their choice. You cannot, we will never force anybody to come and explain. But I think the people of Karnataka actually want them to stand up and explain themselves as to what do you do with someone like Muniratna. Look at the list. I mean, allegedly being raped in the Vidhana Sauda, in the Vikasa Sauda, in his government allotted car, then in his warehouse, then, blackmailing some other woman, honey trapping, then sending out, allegedly AIDS patients. And it's not a joke. AIDS patients to be used is not blackmail. It is downright cruel and indecent. It's an ailment, sir. T.R. Prasad Gowda, look at it. Your party, FIR, has been served now to the Chief Minister. That party, Muniratna, what is the Congress party now planning to do? Because they have been wanting Siddaramaiah to resign. What are you planning to do, sir?
Madam, we wanted to give the clean administration. See, our Chief Minister is always for the clean administration, and we have implemented all 5 guarantees. But opposition party like BJP wanted to dislodge the governments, which government is doing very well. They all concatenated stories they have built upon our Chief Minister, and all fabricated stories they have built. Then now they are trying to do it, but now court has given People's Court has given the mandate that to let it go for Lokayukta inquiry, and we let Lokayukta police inquire and file their report by December end. And hopefully, we all know our Chief Minister is very clean, and he will come out very clean, and definitely, and he will be our Chief Minister, and he will continue as our Chief Minister, and he will do the good work, and we will not give any room.
Start, no, Mr. Gowda. When the FIR has been filed, investigations can start, no. Like the SIT and the forensics team took, Mr. Muniratna to the spot, where the incident had happened. Law is law for everyone, no?
Yes, of course. Let them conduct the inquiry. We are not asking not to do any inquiries. When FIR is filed, of course, we welcome. Let them do the inquiry, do the report, whatever. But our Chief Minister will be there, and he will continue to do his good work in the administration. And when we know he is very clean, and he will come out clean, let the inquiry conduct. Let them conduct. Lokayukta police. We will not avoid any police to stop. We are not stopping anybody to conduct inquiry. They are open. They can come and do the inquiry. We have no regrets for that.
I've completely run out of time, but let me tell you, this is a very sad state of affairs in Karnataka, where a woman says that not once, not twice, but repeatedly over the years, how she was sexually exploited by a man called Muniratna, Nadu, who has now been taken into custody. But we have to wait and see what eventually happens. If this is the state, and that too in a cadre-based party like the BJP, then only God can save them. Thank you both, Professor Chambi Puranik as well as Mr. Gowda, for joining us on this broadcast. The next story that we are now focusing on is coming from Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister MUDA Stalin Lord Senthil Balaji for his sacrifice upon his release in a PMLA case. That's the next story.
Give it to me, fast. We'll put new glasses in the windows and they keep breaking it. This is the fourth time you are playing football throughout the day. Will you win the world by playing football?
Yes, uncle. I will now conquer the world by playing football. Let's go to Germany.
World's largest football talent hunt, News 9 Indian Tigers and Tigresses. In association with DFB Pokal, Bundesliga, BVB and India Football Center. Train and play matches in Europe. Register now and fly to Germany. IndianTigersandTigresses.com.
For the very first time in our investigation, we unmasked the killer of Ravindra Matre.
In 5G, we have to stand with the world, and in 6G, we have to lead the world.
Winning a Grammy was an absolutely surreal experience.
Someone suddenly, unexpectedly hugged me from the behind. Even he kissed me forcefully. They had a overconfidence that these ladies will never come in front of the public and tell they were abused. The villains in Malayalam film industry. When that Hema committee so many girls came forward. I also got confidence. I have to remove his mask.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Fast.
My God, isn't she your daughter?
Yes.
She's playing football. This is boys' game. Make her study. If she doesn't get a good job, she will get a good match. Will you win the world by playing football?
Go! Yes, auntie. My daughter will win the world by playing football.
Let's go to Germany.
World's largest football talent hunt, News 9 Indian Tigers and Tigresses. In association with DFB Pokal, Bundesliga, BVB and India Football Center. Train and play matches in Europe. Register now and fly to Germany. IndianTigersandTigresses.com.
India and Norway have enjoyed traditional ties for last many decades, ever since the diplomatic ties were established in 1947.
India is now the most populous country in the world. It's the fifth largest economy. And it's, I believe, also the fastest growing economy for the Nordic countries. It is really important to contribute to this economic development being sustainable and to support India in the sustainable development goals that they have.
This is The Diplomat.
That's our second story that we are focusing. Stalin Lord Senthil Balaji for his sacrifice. Senthil Balaji, who spent close to 471 days in jail on charges of money laundering, was let off on bail yesterday. Balaji was arrested in June last year in the alleged scam that dates back to his tenure as the transport minister in the AIADMK government in 2011-16. You know, after his release from jail, Senthil Balaji was given a hero's welcome by none other than Chief Minister MUDA Stalin, who lauded Senthil Balaji for his strength and resilience amidst what he described as political vendetta by the centre. You know what Stalin said, and I am quoting him here. Dear brother Senthil Balaji has been granted bail by the Supreme Court after 471 days in the current scenario where the Enforcement Directorate has been turned into a tool to suppress political opponents. The Supreme Court alone stands as a beacon of hope. Your sacrifice is great, your resolve greater. There was no such long term even during emergency. The political conspiracies continued for 15 months. They tried to break his spirit, meaning Senthil, but he will come out stronger, meaning Senthil Balaji. On his part, Senthil Balaji thanked his leader, MK Stalin, profusely, as also what many say is Deputy Chief Minister designate Udinidhi Stalin. Balaji said the case was false and motivated by political vendetta and that he would face it legally and emerge successful. There are indications that Senthil Balaji may return to the cabinet, even as Stalin had earlier indicated. Thus, his cabinet is now ready for all the necessary changes. The question is that a government which is already facing severe charges of worsening law and order situation, is Stalin banking too much on a tainted minister to heap so much praise upon him? It seems like it's over the top. That's all I'm saying. Salem Dharnidharan, spokesperson for the DMK, is here, and also Kovai Satyan, spokesperson for the AIDMK. A very, very warm welcome to both of you. Satyan, you go first. For me, it seemed like, straight out of a movie or one of those novels that, dear brother, you've come back. And all that happens when one comes back after a long incarceration, when you've done something which is heroic. But here he was on jail because of PMLA. I mean, what is your reaction to this, Satyan?
I have to hang my head in shame on a national media, speaking on valor and sacrifice of person of this caliber and stature. Let's understand, if this is where to be termed as a big sacrifice, and what would you call on the people who are patrolling the borders and safeguarding our nations? What would you call the sacrifice of our soldiers? And if sacrifice has to be compared with the emergency period, where an emergency is a war on democracy, that shows the desperation and incompetence of MK Stalin. 471 days, Senthil Balaji saved MK Stalin and his family by giving out the details of the scam proceeds which their family received from Senthil Balaji. That's the reason why he has been hailed as a hero by MK Stalin. What else can be said? It is as per the court direction that there is a prima facie evidence of this person indulging into corruption, which happened during our period AIDMK, and the court direction to conclude it in 90 days' time. And because of the crime proceeds taken by him, PMLA Act comes into the picture. On the court direction, PC Act comes into the picture, Prevention of Corruption. And post which he is being sent to jail. And with after lot of nautanki, he suddenly had a chest pain. He peed on his pants and he went to the hospital, and wherein a heart surgery was, so-called heart surgery was performed, wherein they refused AIMS doctors to come and validate the same. So many dramas, so many episodes, wherein even he went ahead in the court and said the Enforcement Directorate coerced, threatened, pressurized, forced him to join BJP. Come, what and all role the Enforcement Directorate and CBI has to do, nobody knows. Now they have become the poachers for BJP.
Right.
And such statements all been made. Now he has become a hero.
Well, I'll also question you, Satyan, because there have been lots of leaders in the AIDMK in the past who's come back from jail and they have got heroines welcome, but that's for later. Salem Dharnidharan, I just find it rather strange that a man who speaks of moral probity, who talks about moral rectitude, and that being MK Stalin, of course, he can talk about how, this center is using the agencies to kind of, put false charges and there is political vendetta. But don't you think it's like dramatic? Dear brother, you are back. Does Muka Stalin and his government depend on Senthil Balaji so much is my question. I just want you, Dharanidharan, to tell me how important Senthil Balaji is to Tamil Nadu.
See, before that, I think a single line to Mr. Kovai Satyan, dear friend, is a simple fact that we know how the Honorable Chief, ex-Chief Minister, late Jayalalitha was given when she was released from the jail in 2014. And similarly, we also know that her close aide was convicted, and we also know what would have happened if she had remained alive. So let's not get into that. But having said this is a very different matter. See, we are fighting against ED, which is violating human liberty. That is the point you have to look at, right? Firstly and foremost, any person, right, is not convicted until proven guilty, right? He's innocent until proven guilty. That's very important. Innocent proven guilty, and bail is the norm, right? Bail is not an exception. But because of some provisions in the Money Act under which ED operates, bail has become an exception. Any democratic country, you tell me, where is bail exception? Nowhere. And this is a threat to personal liberty. It is not just a Senthil Balaji case. Anywhere in India, 90% of the cases the ED has filed has been against opposition leaders.
Look, Dharanidharan, because it's a very short and crisp debate. Nowhere did I question why, what, how. I mean, we can have a conversation. After all, the court also has said that ED can't be used like a caged parrot. I have no problem. I'm just talking about Dharanidharan, the hero's welcome that he's been accorded. I want to know, what is this, brother? You have struggled, you will survive, the resilience and the struggle. I wish one could speak in Tamil and if use those words that Stalin used. But don't you think it's over the top? Wait a minute, sir. Look at if after all, you are part of the Indie bloc. If Mr. Kejriwal has stepped down, let us say, I'm giving you a case where he says he doesn't want to be tainted. There are also rumors now that Mr. Senthil Balaji will be taken back into the cabinet. Hypocrisy much, Dharanidharan. Bit of a hypocrisy there. I asked you, what is the importance of Mr. Senthil Balaji? I was very impressed. You called, you said, Honorable Chief Minister Jayalalitha. Of course, she was honorable. We all respect her. I'm going to ask Satyan about that. But I want to know from you, what is so great about Mr. Senthil Balaji? He's tainted. He's out on bail, sir. He's not been completely off the block, as it were.
No, madam. We all know how this country works. Ever since BJP has come to power, opposition politicians have been targeted. In fact, we've been asking, we took us nearly 14 months after we sought permission of the governor to prosecute 3 ADMK ministers. It took him 14 months to give us sanction for the same. But on the other hand, Senthil Balaji was arrested and put behind bars for 16 months. But without any result, was he convicted? No. So any person who's not been convicted cannot be kept in prison. And he has come back. So in this country, we are seeing politicians are all being put behind bars and they're all coming out.
But sacrifice is great. Don't you think that's over the top? Sacrifice is great. Your sacrifice, bit much. I will stick my neck. Kovai Satyan, you said about how...
10 seconds. You need to give it 10 seconds. You are seeing two issues. A person convicted comes back. If he celebrates, then it's wrong. But here, ED is doing this as a business, putting opposition politicians in bars for 18 months, 20 months. Right? Are they able to get them conviction?
So it's a sacrifice.
The process is wrong.
Nothing is wrong. It's about perception, sir. It is not wrong.
If he was part of BJP or ADMK,
Satyan, I want to ask you, you were sitting on judgment on them, but when your Jayalalitha came back, my God, I remember even Shashikala Natarajan, with whom now you have severed all relationship, when she came back, Chinnamma is back and garlands and entire entourage. You guys do it. I'm asking you, what do you think is the Okay, Jayalalitha, you did know.
And now the AIADMK members went.
I'm asking you all that falling at, one has seen it. No, I'm much older, so I know I've seen this through. All I'm asking you is, what is this Senthil Balaji mystery? After all, he was in your government when this entire case happened, your party rather. I want to ask you, what is this great thing about your sacrifice is great, you have done so much. I mean, there is something which is more than meets the eye here, Satyan, so far as Senthil is concerned. Would you agree?
I would certainly agree. As far as our leader Purushottam Amma is concerned, everybody knows how she was implicated by the family, Shashikala and members and family. And yes, if the case were to be held, if she were to be alive, she would have definitely proved her innocence and walked free. But as far as Senthil Balaji is concerned, he is a partner in crime with respect to MK Stalin and family, and there is no denial to it. The proceeds, ill-gotten proceeds by running the excise department, unlicensed bars, and minting money by running through unlicensed bar, running through thousands and thousands of bars across Tamil Nadu. The proceeds definitely flew through the highest echelons and helms of affairs in DMK. That's the reason why he is behind bars. Everybody, the top brass in DMK is so rattled that he should not spill the beans. Let's not forget his brother Ashok Kumar is still hiding. And yes, he too is facing charges. And because of their secret understanding with BJP, he is being safeguarded and he is happily living a life somewhere hiding. And let me remind you, Sudha, since yesterday, after his release, even till now, none of the DMK spokespersons or leaders are saying Senthil Balaji is innocent. He has nothing to do with the corruption. And everybody knows that the verdict is due and he will be behind bars any moment.
Okay, I've
it is the same Senthil Balaji's counsel which argued in the court, saying that yes, he took the money and he returned it and they have reached a compromise.
Right. 1 minute I've left. Dhanidharan, what if like Satyan says it's, he proves to be guilty? What are you going to do? Talk about sacrifice? Dear brother, you are back. What will you do? Don't you think it will be embarrassing? So why preempt it?
No. The matter is sub judice. In fact, the punishment for the crime, under which he was taken for inquiry, the punishment is only 3 years, but he's already been in prison for 18 months in the name of investigation. In which country does it happen? And right? So how can you? And everyone is innocent and proven guilty. You can keep hypothesizing a lot of things, but as of now, he is innocent, and we are certain that he will prove it in the court. But the matter is in the court. I can't comment on something that's a sub judice matter. No, neither can you, neither can anyone else. Neither can my leader, neither can my other spokespersons. Right? Otherwise, it's contempt of court.
But having said it,
I'm sure that good will prevail.
Truth will prevail, but I still will say in conclusion that this is over the top dramatic. It is very unusual of Mr. Stalin to be saying these things. It's straight out of a film script, although Mr. Stalin does have a film background, and I really laud him for that. Not that I'm running down cinema at all. I laud Kalengir for the writer that he was. But this reaction, over the top. We'll wait and see what changes he makes in the cabinet. Then it will be very clear. Thank you so much, both Kovai Satyan as well as Salem Dhanidharan, for joining us on the broadcast on this story from Tamil Nadu. And the third story which is coming up, Jagan Mohan Reddy, former Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, cancels his visit to the Tirupati Tirumala temple. That's the coming up. Alright, that's the final story that we are doing. Jagan cancels his Tirupati visit, even as the controversy over the alleged adulteration in ghee used in Tirupati Laddi Prasadam continues to boil. Jagan Reddy has cancelled his visit to the Tirupati Tirumala temple, which was scheduled for 28th of September, which is tomorrow. Jagan cited security concerns, claiming that the Chandrababu Naidu government was trying to obstruct his visit to the Tirupati Tirumala temple. He added that the police had issued notice to YSRCP leaders across the state and told them that the visit to the Tirumala temple was not permitted as it lacked the necessary approvals. Lashing out at the government, Jagan said that it was Chandrababu's demonic rule which was continuing in Andhra Pradesh.
ఒక రాష్ట్ర మాజీ ముఖ్యమంత్రి అయిన జగన్మోహన్ రెడ్డికి తిరుమల తిరుపతి దేవస్థానం లో దేవుడిని దర్శించుకునేందుకు వెళ్తాను అనంటే వెళుతున్న నేపథ్యంలో మీకు పర్మిషన్ లేదు, ఆ కార్యక్రమంలో ఎవరు పాలుపంచుకున్నా మీ అందరినీ అరెస్ట్ చేస్తాము అని గుడికి పోవడానికి పోతా ఉంటే నోటీసులు ఇస్తూ ఉన్నారు. నిజంగా ఆలోచన చేయమని అడుగుతా ఉన్నా. ఏ ప్రపంచంలో ఉండం? రాక్షస రాజ్యం కాదా ఇదని అడుగుతా ఉన్నా. తాను చెప్పినవన్నీ, చంద్రబాబు చెప్పినవన్నీ అబద్ధాలు అని ఒక్కొక్కటిగా రుజువవుతూ కనిపిస్తూ ఉన్నాయి. ఆ కనిపించే నేపథ్యంలో 100 రోజుల పాలన మీద టాపిక్ డైవర్ట్ చేస్తూ లడ్డూల టాపిక్ తీసుకొచ్చాడు. ఆ లడ్డూల టాపిక్లో చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు అడ్డగోలుగా తప్పు చేసి గుడి పవిత్రతను దెబ్బతీస్తూ అడ్డగోలుగా దొరికిపోయేసరికి మళ్ళీ ఈ టాపిక్ను డైవర్ట్ చేసేందుకు, లడ్డూల టాపిక్ను డైవర్ట్ చేసేందుకు కొత్తగా ఇప్పుడు డిక్లరేషన్ టాపిక్ తీసుకొచ్చి మళ్ళీ అది ఇంకొక రాజకీయం చేస్తూ ఉన్నారు.
Chandrababu Naidu had already trained his guns on Jagan since he had announced that he shall go and visit Tirupati Tirumala. While he had acknowledged that Jagan can visit the temple, he had questioned if Jagan would sign the declaration. He said, and I quote him here, "But what matters is whether he has faith in Lord Venkateshwara or not. If there is belief, non-Hindus should make a declaration as per the laid down tradition. Aren't you obligated to give a declaration? Why should you go to Tirumala if you don't respect that tradition?" It's also been said in the past that Jagan Mohan Reddy had skipped the declaration at the temple, which is mandatory for non-Hindus. As a result, Chief of the Andhra Pradesh BJP wing, Purandeshwari, had demanded a declaration from Jagan Reddy before going to the holy Tirupati temple. She elaborated on her party's demand by saying that even before Jagan Mohan Reddy begins mounting the Tirumala hill, he should give the declaration of his faith at the Garuda statue itself at Allipuri.
By cancelling his trip to Tirumala, Jagan Reddy has once again proved that he is anti-Hindu and he suffers from Hindu phobia. The only thing that he had to do to have a darshan of Lord Balaji is to sign a declaration, which is a rule in TTD from the past more than 3 decades. A special GO was passed way back in 1990, which states that any person belonging to a religion other than Hindu, he is supposed to sign a small declaration, and he had to take permission from the concerned authority after signing the declaration to have a darshan of Lord Balaji. Mr. Jagan Reddy, what problem you have to state that you have faith in Lord Venkateshwara and reverence towards him?
As promised, I leave you with the other top stories from the south of India. Thank you for watching. Namaskaram.
lived up to their pre-tournament billing, delivering a series of less than convincing performances. With 2 draws and a solitary win,
Your son will be Messi. No studies, just football all day. Go, my son, go. Make my face shine through playing football.
Not only your face, but also the country's. I will conquer the world by playing football. Come, let's go to Germany!
World's largest football talent hunt. News 9 Indian Tigers and Tigresses.